G'day Archie students, my name's Kyle. Welcome to the show. This is episode 37 of the Successful Archie Students podcast. Let's get into it. So just this morning I had a message on Instagram from Ida Sharon who said, can you please make a video on how you manage time between uni, work and YouTube? And I thought this was quite interesting because I already have quite a few videos on time management, but I haven't specifically put one out about how I manage my time on a daily basis between, uni, work, YouTube and all the other various things I do in my life. And so I thought this might be quite helpful for those of you, rather than giving you just practical steps on, buy a planner. I want to get deeper into the habitual side of things and kind of the habits and routines that I've put into my life that help me produce more, help me manage my time better, and manage stress. So if you guys think these things will be helpful, stick around to the end and let's get into it. So I might be getting pretty deep into this, but first of all, I just want to say thank you, Ida, for the question. So what are habits? Habits are something you do either consciously or unconsciously on a repeated basis, something you do often. And what most people don't realize is that this is something we have influence over and something that we can control. It might be a habit to brush your teeth every morning and every night before you go to bed. It might be a habit to get in your car and drive to work, because what happens is that when you're driving, you don't really realize that you're driving. You know what I mean? Probably not, but it's become a habit that you put your foot on the brake when it comes to stop. It might be a habit to put it into second gear once you start getting to a certain speed. But a habit is something you're doing unconsciously because you've built up this routine of practically doing stuff over time. The key idea here is that habits are something that you can develop and something that you can influence and control in your life, which is probably the most important thing. I said that hell weird. It's probably the most important thing to getting more done, being stress-free, and being able to manage your time between multiple things. So the habits we have in our life are what drive our everyday decisions. It's what makes us do what we do on a daily basis. And so having control over these are going to be super helpful. Some habits we have not purposely put in our lives. Some things might be like watching Netflix every time we eat dinner, or opening up our phones every time there's an awkward situation, or something like this. And so I think the key here between managing multiple things is controlling your habits and know where you're putting your time every single day. The biggest habit that I want to talk about is start making sacrifices, because the way I manage my time between work and uni and successful Archie student, it doesn't leave me a lot of free time, but that's not a bad thing, because I enjoy what I'm doing when I'm at home working on Successful Archie Student, or I'm at work or at uni. I enjoy what I do because I consciously make it a decision of mine to do these things in my free time. So I've made it a habit to cancel out some of the things that I don't enjoy doing to do these things, such as making YouTube videos. Right now I could be watching Netflix, but instead I'm recording a video, which is a sacrifice. It might take a little bit more effort, but then the reward of that is that I've got a piece of content for you guys, and in the long run, it's definitely going to be more satisfying by providing value to other people than just sitting on the couch and being a potato. And so this idea of sacrifice is the idea of delaying gratification. So everything in this world is instant, right? We order with Uber Eats nowadays, and so we get instant food to our door. Or we might choose to go on our phones instead of do some homework because it's instantly satisfying our needs or our desires. But if we make it a habit to sacrifice rather than doing these instant gratification things, these instant gratifiers, then you're going to find yourself having more time to spend on the things you want to be doing and the things that matter in life. For me, this is work, uni, and YouTube, or Successful Archie Student in general. So the way that I manage my time between these things, it's really nothing special. It's hard work. It's just deciding consciously what I want to be spending my time on. And it's the idea of consciously making a decision to work on something that I know is going to better my life and better your life and help the people around me, rather than doing something that's just going to instantly gratify my desires. And this idea of delaying gratification comes back to what I like to call investing time. This idea of investing is where you put an initial amount of something into something. This could be an initial amount of money, an initial amount of time. In this case, it's time. So I'm putting an initial amount of time into the activity I'm doing so that it compounds over time and it builds over time into something that is more than what was initially invested, if that makes sense. It's still just this idea of sacrifice. It's putting off the instant gratifiers now and delaying gratification so that that impact and that effort I put in now is going to build over time and become something much bigger because I made the sacrifice. So when you think about it like that, where you're investing your time by putting off the things that instantly gratify you now so that you can work on something that will truly benefit you and others later in the future. So this might be in the case of studying, or it might be in the case of working at your part-time job or recording YouTube videos, or it might be something like learning an instrument or playing sport, something that's going to be benefiting you in the long run. If you want to be able to manage your time between multiple things, it's this idea of consciously being aware of where you're putting your time and your habits, your daily habits, the things that you do unconsciously every single day, and then trying to manipulate these habits into something that's going to be investing time into your future. This is the idea of sacrificing something that isn't so important for you, but instead doing something that's going to be working for something bigger in your future. It's a deep idea, but I think once you truly understand this idea of investing your time, making sacrifices, consciously being aware of your habits, it's really going to benefit you, and it's really going to help you manage your time and get a lot more work done in a world that's trying to distract you from getting stuff done. So while that was a pretty deep topic I wanted to talk about, I think it's going to be helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Successful Archie Students podcast.